So I'm curious to see, I'm just kind of curious to see where it all goes. But yes.
That's what the.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing.
We don't know who they are yet.
In my say. Oh, no, with that, maybe that won't start for like 8 months or something. Yeah. You just see how it goes. But I will, I think, I think like next week. And then. What?
We need like a walkie-talkie system, so you don't have to keep walking back and forth.
I'm getting my steps.
Like that, there you go.
No, that's CCD.
See,
Yeah.
it's that one.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad you're.
Yeah, yeah.
That's your candy Davis. She and I is. We need to.
Yeah.
Did you talk about, we were talking about, what are you doing today? How are you doing, just so dated? Yeah, because of what?
Hey, Lori, we do the introductions around the Zoom. I can't read this long. I'm sorry, I don't have class. So we don't do that with.
You'll see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
Are you doing it? I know, I give and I give.
I just make it a question. Yeah. Whatever. I guess I was just.
Probably only need
Yeah.
Get charged for it, yeah, we don't get it like. So, yeah,
I know, I just need, so we need like hop in for somehow. Either on beds and this.
Yeah.
This is like. Every year usually. It's just very.
For sure. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so. I don't know. It would have it would pressure.
That's the small higher.
But there's a shop.
Okay.
Compost-colorado.com. It lists all the different quantities. Or supposedly.
Same like to your point about same.
How does that It's funny over.
I can, and it doesn't change that. We can still do. We're all commercial, we can still. Yeah, we're going to.
Hi, Alex.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
It's
good.
Sweaty.
You guys are busy out there. Yeah.
Stuff's happening.
Yeah.
Cool. Finally, feels like it's coming together.
So it's. Right. After we were going. Yeah. And we had said we'll go back into. So we'll go back into 4 and 2.
That includes delivery. I hope.
They committed to doing because we had to say.
Yes. That's.
Yeah. Or you have maybe would come back, load up your truck.
We're gonna get started in about 1 or 2 minutes. All right.
First day of summer training.
Right?
Out there.
Yeah,
Did we
that
delete
shit's
chat?
moisture,
What are you
hard to
doing?
keep stuff wet.
Not to discuss.
Some of us readings. We could.
But yeah,
Yeah, how was it?
the little Kubota skid steer, little thing, this stuff,
Yeah.
it's so hot, it's.
You have.
I think something's wrong with it.
I love, you won't like that, but yeah.
Is it air cooled?
Pretty good.
Yeah, the coolant level's good and I blow out the radiator coming like multiple times a day, but I think something else is going on with it.
Okay, alright, so it has a radiator and coolant.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Welcome, everybody, to the Community Advisory Committee meeting for tonight, and we're really glad you're here. My name is Catherine Archuleta, and for those of you I don't know, I'm the facilitator for the meeting, and we're gonna get started. This is our agenda today. We'll take some time to just introduce ourselves around the table with just a name and affiliation, and then we'll go through introductions, our some updates from Steve and Brian and Mike and Lori, and then go into any community updates. I think everybody we know understands if you need interpretation that you know where the globe is at the bottom of your screen. And so please make use of it if you need interpretation. Okay, so we're gonna go around the table. I think we'll start up with the Zoom room first, and Laura, if you'll help me just read the names.
Sorry, a little slower. All right, so we have Alex. Oh, no, the Zoom, sorry. Let's start. So we've got Jose. Do you want to go first?
Yes, my name is Jose Flores. I'm the senior building engineer here at the center.
All right, and then I've got, okay, let me just look at the screen. Sorry. Let's go with Rick.
I am Rick Rivera with Partner Colorado Credit Union. Thank you.
Thank you. Chris?
Hi, Lori. Hi, everybody. My name is Chris Callanan. I am a community engagement specialist with the Denver Transportation and Infrastructure Sidewalk Program.
And then we have Laura. She said she has lost her voice. Okay. And then Marcy?
Good evening, Marcy Loughran with the Mayor's Office of the National Western Center Communications.
Thank you. And then we've got, let's see, Brianna.
Hi, Brianna Winters with Metro Water Recovery.
Thank you. Christina?
Hi, I'm Christina Garcia. I'm with Birdsea Collective and the Birdsea Community Center.
And then we have Jennifer.
Hi, this is Jennifer Winkle. I'm with the GES Coalition Land Committee, and I'm on the COW, and I live in Swansea.
Gail? We'll come back to you. Eduardo?
Hello, my name is Eduardo Gonzalez. I work for CSU Spur, community engagement and outreach person there. Thank you for having me.
Your poor voice. We've got AE next. She's in another meeting, so
she
she's not audio. And then we've got Becca.
Good evening, Becca Trehill with Global First.
Thank you. And then we'll just go ahead and go in-house. Steve, if you want to go, and then we'll just go.
Hi, everyone, I'm Steve Nally. I'm the Chief Real Estate Officer here at the National Western Center.
Hi, I'm Lori Larita. I do community engagement.
Alexa Calzari with the Authority. Shannon Hoffman with the GES Community Investment Fund.
Nico, mi hijo. Nico, lo voy a decir en español para aprovechar el traductor. Nico siempre dice que le gusta venir a las reuniones porque le gusta el chisme.
I'm gonna say it in Spanish since I'm gonna take advantage of the interpreter. Nico says that he likes to come to these meetings because he likes gossip.
I love it.
Sandra Ruiz, residente Global y representante de la comunidad en la mesa directiva de National Western Center.
Sandra Ruiz, I'm a Global resident and representative, community representative in the board of the National Western Authority.
Hi, everyone, Elizabeth with SC2, helping stand up the field engagement program for the Triangle Vision Plan.
Mike Bouchard with Nwca.
Beth Vogelzang with OB Consulting on the Triangle Vision Plan.
Catherine.
Oh, that's all.
She's like, share.
Okay.
I introduced myself earlier.
I couldn't resist.
I know, I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, Slavic support, CRL Associates, and also with production. Armando Bayan Global. Brian Perry with the Nwca and GES program projects.
Alex Thompson with Compost Colorado.
And then we have two people, we had Myra that joined
And Neil.
and Gail. So let's go with Myra first and then we'll come back to Gail.
Hi, everyone. Myra with Focus Points Family Resource Center. I'm the Associate Director of Strategic Initiatives.
And then we have Gail. All right, and then we've got Angela that just joined.
Hi, Angela Garcia, Global resident.
Great. Well, welcome, everybody. We have a great crowd this evening. So we welcome all of you here. As we mentioned in the agenda, we're going to start out with Steve on an update on the Equestrian Center.
Thanks, Catherine. Hi, everyone. Again, Steve Nally with the authority. We continue to negotiate the Equestrian Center deal, and we're working closely with our development partner, Fingate. Discussions continue to be constructive. Most of the discussion is around commercial terms, the community discussions, the benefits, the things that are required in the project support agreement, and the things that we've all talked about for many years are still intact in the deal. Really appreciate your patience as we work through this phase of negotiation. We're very excited to start back up the conversation around jobs during construction and jobs in the hotel, how we operate the community space, what that looks like, how we work together with the community to book the space, and get it up and running. So really appreciate your patience and for continuing to stay involved. I'm happy to answer any questions. Not at liberty to share all the details at this point as we're in the middle of these negotiations, but if you have questions about the site or anything like that, I'm happy to share.
We have two new, thank you. Any questions from the group about the Equestrian Center? No, thank you. We have two new guests. If you don't mind introducing your three new guests. By introducing yourself, just name and affiliation.
Yes, sorry, we are late. Kristen Lang, the program manager for Nwca, and I got our intern manager, Mr. Tom. Where do you go to school?
I go to.
Yeah, we're very excited. So when we come see what.
Great.
Nice to meet you. Hi, Gail.
Hello.
You want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Gil. Sorry I'm running late. Back on traffic.
I guess the Archbishop was installed today.
Oh.
That's why there's so many. At the National Western Center.
Yeah.
At the National Western Center.
Oh.
So,
Really?
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
When they said that this is a multi-use space, they want to do it.
Yeah, you said.
I saw the logo. You like that?
All right. That's me, right?
That's you. That is you.
All right, you wanna flip to the map? Firstly, this map that I'm gonna share in the next slide, there is gonna be a couple of QR codes. And I want to encourage everyone to
sign up for the newsletter, the public newsletter that we're putting out bi-weekly now. And also online, even if you're not getting those updates, you can always go to the website, which we have a QR code for that as well, the next slide. To get, there it is. So, there is the GES Pop webpage, and then the other QR code is the e-blast sign up. So I encourage you to bookmark the webpage and sign up for the e-blast. Because that's the best way to stay up to date outside of getting these updates in the CEC or CAC here. Can you go back to the next real quick? There, thank you. So we'll start over in the Washington area. That is on the left-hand side of the screen there. You see a lot of yellow and some red over there. That indicates that all of those areas are under construction between the 51st Street project and the Washington Street project. So that includes 51st Street, Washington, 50th, and 49th. There is construction going on all three of those areas. Most of this is just lane shifts at this time. There are occasional single lane closures. And we are trying to limit those single lane closures as much as possible. So they're working with the contractors to limit those, but there is sometimes where those are needed. We do have an upcoming single lane closure on Washington that is gonna go from the 31st through April 3rd. So plan around that in terms of whether or not you commute through that area, give yourself extra time, or find another route through that area during that time, because it will slow things down. Usually when we have a single lane closure there, I would say it's up to a 5-minute delay, depending on what the traffic is. So Excel's doing quite a lot of work on Washington as part of the Washington Street projects of both electrical and gas, up and down. And then the project itself, the contractor is working between 52nd and 51st right now. So rather than going into all the details, you can go and review this online and see more details if you would like. But the name of the game is there's a lot going on over in Washington 51st. So those projects are on schedule and progressing well. And we are pushing them to make sure that they're communicating with businesses and putting out their alerts and their flyers to the community. So if there are issues, please reach out to the GES Program of Projects hotline. If you have any issues, things that look out of place, or full closures that haven't been announced or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to that hotline, and we will respond to you and chase down those issues. Moving to the right side of the screen, the private development that's happening just up the street here at Race and 49th, they still have portions of both 49th and Race closed for the foreseeable future. The latest update I have right now is that portion of Race that is closed is supposed to be closed through mid-April. And that could push because they are having a lot of difficulty. They're about 25 feet down doing utility work that's connecting to a lot of main utility connections there. So that's the last update that I got from them on that at the end of last week.
Excuse me, when you say utility, you're talking gas, you're talking
All
sewer, you're talking water, cable?
The deepest ones are water and sanitary sewer that they're connected to right now. So, but yeah, basically they're connecting to all the main utilities in that area right now. So
I know it's electrically super heavy or top heavy on that.
yeah, that's not, electrical generally doesn't. It's
You don't have to go
one of
down
the
it.
faster.
Yeah, the phones go down 3 feet and that's it. You don't have to go down.
Yeah, this is mostly with their connection to water, sewer, and coordinating those three utilities together. So that's the issues that they've run into there. from what I understand. There's also work happening on 47. This is an Excel project where they are replacing the existing utility poles up and down 47 from about what did I say? I didn't list it here. It's basically going from about York almost all the way over to Brighton. And it's not gonna be spread out too far. It'll basically, I've been told from Excel, they'll be basically replacing one pole at a time. So they'll probably be flagging as you go by those areas, and there shouldn't be any lane closures or road closures or anything for that.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
you're talking about
That's
47th?
Yes, 47th over there. Oh, that's the far right on the bottom. Yes, right there.
So, sorry, can I ask a question or do you
Go
want
ahead.
to keep going? Cause I talked to a lineman about that the other day and they said that it was gonna go from High Street to Columbine in Swansea.
Yeah, that's the second portion, so I'm not tracking that yet because they'll basically stop at York there and then they'll pick it up on the other side. So you'll see it in an upcoming alert when they get over there. But they'll be doing this for about the next 6 weeks and then they're gonna pause and then they'll start that other portion.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they also said that that the primary reason is it's Excel to carry the load from the data center. Is that your understanding?
I couldn't speak to that. They didn't tell me what the purpose of it was. All I heard from them is that they're upgrading the poles and the line work there, as well as the streetlights that are there. So I wasn't told what the purpose of the work was necessarily, but it could be related to the data center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask one more thing?
Sure.
There's also like a machine that went like down into the ground. Like I saw them on the pole, so that made sense on the wires.
Yeah.
And like the street light thing, I saw them working on the street light. But then there's like also a machine that went down in the ground. Do you know what that machine is for?
It's probably either extracting the old pole or digging the caisson for the new.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's generally what that type of machine is. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then on the levy project, as you guys know, the access to the trail at 45th has been removed. The city is actively working on both short-term and long-term solutions. They've heard feedback from people in the community that some people feel that was a loss to lose that. So they are looking to widen and improve the access, the alternative access, which would be to the south at Ringsby. So they're looking in the spring to repave a portion that's kind of an ad hoc portion of that trail that will reconnect back over. So it'll be about another half block down that you need to go to access that trail. And then they're also starting to work on phase 3 of the levy project, which will also add some more access points. So that's all I have there. Next slide. Yeah, so as I said, the GES POP website and signing up for the e-blast. We can go to the next slide. GES Safer Streets is in design. I know a lot of people in the community have participated in this. The survey that they are conducting right now closes on March 27th. That QR code there is if you want to participate in that survey. It closes on Friday, March 27th. So please participate in that. And Chris, do you want to speak on the sidewalks program?
Actually, do you mind sharing the slides and then I'll be here for any questions that come up?
Sure. So Chris is here to represent the sidewalks program. The program is starting to move forward with with notification to neighbors. Their primary focus, as you can see up here, will be repair of damaged sidewalks, widening of sidewalks that are deficient, and then building on new sidewalks that don't exist. The sidewalks are coming to Globeville and Elyria Swansea neighborhoods starting in mid-2026. So meaning implementation will start in mid-2026. And the neighbors who will be receiving upgrades in their area should begin getting notifications in the next few weeks for advanced notification. So that's a 90-day notification, the advanced notification. If you want more information, please email or visit Denver Sidewalks Program at denvergov.org/sidewalks or email sidewalks@denvergov.org.
Any comments on the sidewalk program, because I know that's been of interest to so many
Yeah.
people on the
So if
community.
anybody has any questions on it, Chris could
I
answer.
can't see the.
Yeah.
She got a comment, Chris.
Anyone has their hand up.
Chris, real quick, a lot of people, well, many residents, they have ADA or whatever it might be, and they need access to a driveway. And in order to get a driveway modified, you have to go down to the city, get a plan, it's a lot of brain damage involved. I was wondering, is there any ways we can have somebody on site, like a planner? If you know that, like 3 or 4 people that's on the same block wanna have like a driveway cut on there, and then if you stop the city planner, they can approve it. I mean, cause I know you gotta have the width in there, and maybe it's a single car. If not, you have to lay all that out, go down to the city, get it approved, you gotta wait for God's blessing down there, 2 or 3 weeks. And I know Brad, up there watching this, but he can only do so much, it's the people at the desk, they got to work for it. I was just wondering, is there any way, we can get, that process super efficient? And obviously, this is a low income neighborhood, a lot of residents are on fixed incomes. I can go on and on about that story, but if there's any way we could, expedite that not expedite it, obviously we have to follow procedures and guidelines, be in line with zoning and all the building requirements, I get all that stuff. But if we could streamline that process to help the residents accommodate their homes and accommodate easy access in and out. So when the snow comes or any of those other adverse weather conditions, it makes it easier for the residents to come, navigate the neighborhood to get in and out through pedestrian traffic to the sidewalk system.
Yeah, Armando, that's a really excellent flag, especially as this sidewalk network has been transferred as an asset to maintain to the city. Thinking about, citywide, how are we going to be managing curb cut approvals? And I'll definitely raise that as part of our planning efforts that are ongoing right now that I've shared about the sidewalk implementation plan. And I'll make sure that our program management folks have that on their list to look at in terms of a process to refine, especially when our new construction happens, but repair as well.
Thank you.
And then also in the chat, Jennifer would like those QR codes to be put into the chat if possible.
Yeah, maybe Marcy could.
I have the slides, but I didn't know if I wanted to send the whole.
You wanna just put the
Yeah.
whole slide
Yeah,
deck
I
in
can do
there?
that.
Okay.
I will.
Cause I was gonna try to cut and paste them or something. But
No, I can
if
put
you
it
just-
into that.
Oh.
So, do you wanna just restate what you're gonna do?
I will put in the chat, once after I get through my slides, I will put in the chat the full slides for Dottie. So it'll show the QR codes. Oh, and then
use those-
Summer also said that she'll drop in the codes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can drop
Use
that
those
in for you,
QR
Lori, no
codes,
worries.
Sign up for the newsletter and bookmark the website.
I have a question. How long is the first construction's gonna take?
Which,
The one on 51st and Washington?
both of those projects are gonna finish probably summer 2027-ish. That's
A
the,
whole year.
yeah. But there's gonna be a lot of benefits to it. You know about the 51st Street, the realignment, that's gonna go all the way through over the 51st Street Bridge. So there'll be, there's a little bit of squeeze to get the juice here on some of these things, but yeah,
So it's,
2027.
is 51st bridge, the 51st bridge gonna be open? Or it's gonna be closed to that whole year?
Oh, no,
Cause you
51st
can like,
Bridge-
if you like, I live close by 51st and.
Yeah.
Like, every time we wanna come here, we cannot take, the 51st Avenue anymore, cause it's closed. And
Yeah,
it's
so you-
being closed.
Have you seen the detour on, so 52nd, Emerson, and then you can get back on 51st and go over the bridge? So 52nd, is one street up where like.
Oh, okay.
Beauty-
Yeah, that's also closed sometimes. It's not always open.
It should be. I haven't seen any full closures of 52nd. It looks a little bit like it's closed right now because the construction goes right up to it on Washington. But I drive it probably every day
Okay.
as I'm driving around, and I'm making sure that that's open because that is a detour. So, again, use that hotline or get a hold of me if there is anything that's out of whack, but there should be. 52nd to Emerson is the detour for that.
And what's it gonna, what are you guys gonna be building on 51st and Washington where that mechanics, I think it was like.
I think it's just an access, easy access to, if you're on the Washington, right,
On the corner, yeah, where the corner of the person in Washington.
That's just where the road jogs over.
Uh.
So, because they're not aligned, so 51st will jog over in that area that's under construction right now. And then it will realign with the current alignment on the east side of Washington where 51st is.
the east side of Washington is wider than the right side, than the west side. So what they did, they cut that through, I'm not an engineer, but
Yeah.
that's why I see it. They cut it through so they could shift over and go straight down.
Yeah.
Washington.
So they're not building anything there.
No, that'll be
okay.
road essentially. And then there's, on both sides, there's kind of a large amenity zone on that because it snakes there now. So there'll be large amenity zones on either side, like bus stop and
But
benches.
it gets the intersection all teed up and.
Yes,
Correct.
yeah, the
Yeah, there's right now,
intersection
the
will
intersection
be,
goes through.
will not be screwy at Washington, but it's just
That's a.
where, yeah. I will, at the next meeting, I'll bring some renderings and some maps so that you guys can see, we've shared them in past meetings, but some renderings of what Washington will look like and what 51st will look like.
Okay, thank you.
And that'll help the semis going through there from that,
Yeah.
YCX building.
Definitely.
Any
Oh,
other?
sorry, just one other thing, another positive is that the Betty Cram Drive Bridge and Greenway is out for advertisement to contractors, so that is moving forward.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's nice.
Any other comments or questions? See anything in the chat? Or
No, but there are, the link was, put in the chat as well as the flyer.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Thank you, Chris. Mike.
All right, well, it's actually not me today. I'm gonna hand it over to Beth and Elizabeth to talk through some updates on Triangle and get some feedback.
Okay, let's see. Hold.
Please hold. Wait for it.
Right, so today we're really sharing an update on the Triangle Community Vision Plan. Our role is really to create a structure, some tools and opportunities for the community to participate in part of this planning effort. And really bringing together a structure to it and shape to what happens here. So we'll walk through what we've heard so far since January, what we've done and what's coming next. First, I want to highlight the graphic to the left. Since January, we've had 5 community meetings. Out of those community meetings, we've co-created a survey that will be launching soon. We've also shared block captains and community connector opportunities. We've received 13 block captain applications from residents that live within the GES neighborhoods. Out of those 13, 7 folks live in the GS area. For me, I think it was interesting to see the division of, folks who are interested in being captains, and those folks that live within the GS neighborhood. So we are really interested in onboarding those 7 individuals that are from the GS community. We're still, as I mentioned previously in last month's meeting, this will be on a rolling basis. We really do want to have the full 24 block captains present in the program currently. And so we're at 7. So ideally, we're really hoping that community members continue to share out the opportunity. This is an opportunity, directly for neighbors to be involved and community to get involved. Out of the folks that we've been talking to, 4 community organizations are interested in participating as community orgs. And so those 4 organizations have also received the block captain information, and we're hoping that they share it with their members as well. And we had a really great Triangle Community kickoff at the beginning of the month, and heard some really great feedback that Beth will get into a little bit later in the slides. But just wanted to give you all an update of where we're at, and really establishing some pieces around the block captain and community connectors piece. In the next slide. As I mentioned, block captains, it's a paid leadership and training opportunity. Folks are going to be doing door knocking to their neighbors directly, and supporting some of the meetings that we'll be having during the rest of these phases and pop-ups. And continuing to promote and track and participate in the 3 community surveys that we have coming up. The first one will be launching here soon. And so really wanting to get engaged with residents in the GS neighborhoods. As I mentioned, that application is live and is available in English and Spanish. I brought some hard copies today if folks are interested in applying in an actual physical form. You can bring those back to the Nwca offices, and we'll make sure to get it all entered in. But giving this as an opportunity for folks to really highlight their opportunity to be engaged in some of the planning process. And we're excited to get folks started and onboarded soon. So if you are interested in applying, I would ask that you prioritize getting those applications in here in the next couple week or 2, so that we can start that onboarding process next month. And just depending on how many folks we apply, we'll be on a rolling basis as we onboard new block cap.
How was the process been? Has there been a lot of applicants and?
Yeah, so we've had a total of 13 applicants apply, and then from those 13, 7 of them live in GES. So it's about half of the folks are from the neighborhood, half are not. I think we still are interested in seeing, who's interested in being a block captain. I think we mentioned at the beginning of the planning process that, this is essentially like an opportunity for GES residents. But part of that process is wanting to make sure that we meet those metrics that were outlined in the Triangle Vision Plan. And so if we get to a point where we need to start hiring those full 24 captains, we'll come back and revisit the applicants that aren't from the neighborhood, but have shown strong interest, or were, previous residents from GES and maybe don't necessarily live here anymore, but are, interested in what happens within the community.
So people that are out, they can still apply for them.
Yes, yeah, it's open. It stops folks from completing the full survey or the full application completely. But you're able to kind of give in your information, and we will follow up after we get through GES residents first.
And how do they get notified if you've been selected to be a block captain?
Yeah, so those notifications are coming. We wanted to notify you all first that they're coming. So if you haven't had an opportunity to put in your application yet, that the time to do that is now. And so we'll start notifying folks here within the next couple of weeks.
But we use something, no?
Yes, it'll be from you, an email from you, yes.
They'll contact you?
Yes.
Elizabeth, you want to upgrade to a general, not a captain?
Oh, there you go, yeah, you can give yourself a title, whatever title you want, you feel is fitting.
And then we have a couple, questions.
Yes.
Jeremiah has a question, but on the chat, Jennifer Winkle had said, can you share who has been hired as far as block captains?
No one has been hired yet.
Thank you.
Very close.
So very close, so get your application
Any
in.
day.
Yes.
Will you will be sharing that information?
I will, yes, we will be posting all of that information publicly.
Perfect, thank you. And then Jeremiah, you had a question?
Is there like an age limit to the block?
Yes, so 16 and up are able to apply, yes.
Your friends.
We'll actually be at the CSU Hydro Career Fair for Bruce Randolph on Friday.
That's what I was thinking. Is there any like plans for like a workshop?
A workshop? Yes, yeah. So part of the onboarding for block captains is gonna be to get them caught up to speed on everything that the Triangle Vision Plan, the North Star, some of the documents we have in the back. If folks wanna take some, but yeah, it'll be onboarding and making sure that folks are equipped to start door knocking. Part of those pieces is making sure that we, mentioned in previous community meetings, folks have mentioned, making sure that they are equipped with know your rights trainings. And that they're familiar with the survey tool as well. And so we'll make sure that part of that onboarding process is making sure that they get all their questions answered before they start hitting the doors. Any other questions, Lori?
I have a question. I've been telling neighbors to apply, but they keep telling me that, like, most of them, they can't, like, do meetings or, because one of the sections says that you have to help creating a meeting and stuff like that, and they say that they can't do that, but they wanna do like canvassing, taking flyers, like indoors. They just can't do the meeting parts.
The community,
And I told them that they should apply anyways, that they can say those things, that they can't do that part, but they can do the canvassing, like indoors, cause that's very important too. But they told me to ask.
Yeah, no,
like, they have to do that part also to be able to be hired, or they don't.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think we want to get as many folks involved in the process as possible. And so if the meeting limitation is what's holding them back, ask them to still apply. Part of the pieces that we're gonna be doing is there's no requirement that folks have to have like previous door knocking experience. We want to make this open and transparent to everyone. I think, we'll start with folks who are able to make it to most meetings. And then if you go to the next slide, if they don't want to commit to block captains directly, we also have community connectors. And so folks who maybe want to have a one-off meeting in their neighborhood or door knock, and specifically in their neighborhood sharing flyers and opportunities that are coming up, can sign up to be community connectors. The form for that is also on our website in both English and Spanish. And so those are one-off opportunities where folks will still be compensated for being involved in the process.
But Elizabeth, they don't get paid as much as a
Correct.
captain.
Correct.
So.
And I think that the issue is not knocking doors or taking flyers mostly, because it says like, you have to create a meeting or do a meeting.
Yeah, so part of the.
And that's why they were like, people are like hesitating to apply, because they don't want to do a meeting. They have to do it and never done it. But they do want to go knocking on doors, they do want to take flyers, they do want to talk to the neighbors. It's just that part of creating a meeting, they don't know how.
Yeah, we'd train them if they've, never conducted a meeting. Part of the meeting requirements is the Triangle Vision Fund has identified that we have to meet certain metrics and engagement pieces. And so we want to make sure that there's a feedback loop between block captains and the community of like doors knocked. And so part of that is going into these community meetings, and having that feedback loop so we can meet those engagement metrics, but still, have folks apply. I think we can have conversations of seeing what's.
Do they not want to host a meeting? Or
They
do
don't want to host a
Yeah,
meeting,
that's
and they
okay.
want to go to meetings, but they don't want to host.
That's okay.
So that's
fine.
the difficult part for them.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
they never
okay.
hosted a meeting before, so they don't want to do
Yeah,
that.
that shouldn't. They don't know, right?
It's one of the requirements there, that's what it's stopping.
Well, it's a goal, we do the best we can, and if they can't host a meeting, it's okay, Yeah, I think you want to encourage them to apply. Yeah.
And then we have Myra's got a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Myra.
I was gonna ask.
You may be on mute, Myra.
Myra?
Can you all hear me now?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, sorry, it wasn't letting me unmute. I had an idea though for that, or a solution if community members who are maybe have no experience or are uncomfortable with hosting a meeting. I think a good solution might be to collaborate with an organization to help them host the meeting. And that way it's not just on them, and they'd have a site where people can come and meet to hear about the programming. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Great. Yeah, that's a great idea. And part of the organizations that are signing on there, they'll be hosting meetings. And so if block captains would want to co-host with them and invite their neighbors, like that's the entire idea and goal of making sure that we share it out with block captains and community orgs.
Awesome.
Thank you, Myra. All right, next slide.
Okay, so Elizabeth was telling us we had this community kickoff meeting. And I think it was well organized. We had a lot of information. We had some really great attendees. We would love more attendees. So just, as we go forward and as we have more workshops, one of the comments I just got was that it would feel better if the workshops were held in the community itself, right in the neighborhood. And that is our goal for the next round. So that's something we're going to need to think about. But our idea moving forward is as we have these community workshops, they would be maybe even smaller in scale and maybe a few of them in different parts of the neighborhood. So we'll definitely try to address that. We had a couple exercises at this workshop or at this public community meeting. And one was to kind of weigh in on some of your values around the community. And that's a topic that we had brought to some of our previous meetings and talked about, and we all recognize that there's been a lot of planning work done, and in those planning documents, we've identified all these priorities and values of the community, but we just wanted to give folks a chance to share their thoughts. And so these are the biggies that we heard, and not just once, like many comments around these. Connectivity and health. Okay, this is big. We're having to travel too far to get groceries. There aren't any specific grocery or other resources within the community. This presents an even unique challenge to seniors and people with disabilities because it's just adding to the challenges that they're facing and having to go so far for groceries. We definitely need a local grocery store. We need additional local retail as well. That could be a laundromat, it could be other services. We did get several comments about health clinics, and I think this came up last time or in one of our meetings that, we can't even get into the clinics that is in the area, so we definitely need greater capacity in terms of health clinic. And then several requests for a senior center, which I thought was also very cool. So, lots of them, but all kind of fall under that connectivity and health. And then, of course, a lot of comments about housing, and we know this, and this is a key element of the plan, but affordable housing has to not only be rental. And I thought that was one I really wanted to pull out because when we talk about affordable housing, sometimes we're talking rental. And so that's a big distinction, like, hey, we have to have all types of affordable housing. And of course, a stable energy supply and stable prices to support residential. And that's a growing concern right now with the news agencies. So those were a couple things. I'm gonna go to the next slide. And then we had another exercise that was really more about the site, and we had a map, and people got to move that around and talk about their ideas about the site. And a couple things that came out of that, which I think are worth pointing out, is that definitely the folks who participated in this exercise want to prioritize residential use north of I-70. So not necessarily south of I-70, at least in the near term. And they want to consider what do those traffic impacts mean to the rest of the neighborhood. So definitely a lot of conversation around that. Local businesses and neighborhood retail should be encouraged, which kind of aligns with other comments we got. And we should create that in a way that allows the foot traffic or pedestrian movement to be active between the triangle and these uses. So they're not hidden, they're not behind other things, but there's a lot of synergy between the residential uses and the neighborhood and the retail uses. And again, prioritizing grocery. Locate new residential next to existing neighborhoods. So don't tuck it in the back of the site. Don't just find a little spot for it. make it have a relationship to the existing neighborhood. And the timing of that availability of this new housing really matters. So we want to think about that timing as we think about locations. And of course, the plaza at the intersection of 47th and Brighton has come up again and again, and really is a key element of sort of anchoring the neighborhood and creating this place for people. So those were just a few of the big takeaways in the conversations that were had around that. So, all really good and all just feeding into our next workshops as well. So more to come. That's just the very tip of the iceberg. So we can go to the next one. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have a question or did you want to talk? Okay. So the other thing that we've been working on is the survey, and I do want to say this has been a really good process because.
Can I comment? before you-
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there's a big push right now from the city and county of Denver. Correct me, Mike, if I'm wrong, since you represent the city. There's a big push right now for, the gondola, multimodal transportation down 16th Street long. And going back during, our discussion there, we need to talk about or discuss multimodal transportation in terms of utilizing the bike lanes, utilizing different aspects of the infrastructure within the traffic design in the three neighborhoods. Obviously, there's no connectivity, and global alone, there's 56 dead ends. There's no
Yeah.
connectivity there at all. But I think it's some type of a gondola, and gondolas are really popular in college campuses throughout the world. And for whatever reason, the United States hasn't really caught on. There's some campuses that have. But I think looking at some that type of, multimodal transportation, utilizing the bike lanes as, so you don't impede on regular traffic coming through. I think that should be a topic that maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Does somebody want to talk a little? I think, okay, so that's a great addition. So I think, we have a lot of kind of full picture of the connectivity between the two neighborhoods and through National Western, and I think we can layer that on top and say, all right, where are we still seeing those gaps and what can we address with?
Well, that also enhances the quality of the campus.
Yes.
I mean, the more moving people around especially during this 2 weeks of auction there, the more money we can generate.
Yeah.
Because those people are moving constantly. So like the skating zone.
Yeah, could be kind of cool. Well, all right, I'll see what I can do with my. I think that's kind of cool. All right. Okay, so let's go to the survey, and I just want to say we have had several meetings, 3 or 4, now I can't remember what we're at, regarding the survey discussion. And I really want to just note, like, you know, we developed some initial survey questions about tell us your values and prioritize things and help us understand. And we had some really productive conversations with our community organizations and the folks who attended about those questions we're not getting to the heart of what they really want us to understand about their community and to pull out. And so we have revamped a lot and worked with them. And this is what we've said, we want to co-create during this process. And it's not always easy, but I think this is a really good start to that co-creation. And so I'm kind of excited. The new questions are really designed to help us and everyone better understand the community's lived experience. So what are they experiencing? What are the challenges? What needs are there out there? And those are the kinds of things that are really going to help us make decisions around Triangle, around the things we're trying to do in the Triangle. So this new survey is drafted. It's out for kind of like a final review to folks. And if you're online listening, please jump in there and send any comments. And it's the start, right? So we've got a long ways to go, but it's a start toward this and a start toward gathering some of that data that's going to help us. So that will launch April 1st. So let's go to the next one. Yes, so April 1st, take the survey. So there are a lot of ways there's a lot of things on this.
I know that was me, sorry.
There's a lot of ways you can be involved in taking the survey. So you can go online, okay? And we will, when we launch this survey, we will do a big blast to everybody again, right? So to tell you, like, okay, go out there and take it. It is mobile friendly, so you can do it on a tablet or your phone. You can come in person, and take the survey. There's some events coming up, like the second Saturday. People will be there with, I think probably pads to do it online as well as hard copy. So either whatever makes you happy, you can do it either way. It will definitely be in multiple languages. And we're trying, as much as we want a lot of info, we're also trying to keep it reasonable so that it's not too time consuming. So you can do some quick and easy answers as well, even if you can't take the whole thing. So yeah, it's coming.
Will that survey, is it required to answer every question or can you skip a question?
Mhm.
Okay.
Sorry, there's ice in that drink. But yeah, in fact, part of it is if you only have a minute and you really don't want to spend the time to think it through, we think we'll have some initial questions that are easy, sort of the short form and the full survey. Of course, we'd love for you to take the full survey, but yeah, I have options. All right.
Is this the same survey the block
Yeah, we've
captains
been
are
working.
gonna be using?
And it's the same survey the block captains are gonna be doing, so it'll all be the same, so the idea is that we will have it finalized and be ready to launch it. The block captains they will get notified and they will attend their training session and they'll learn about it, and then they're out there as well with the survey. And right now, we think it's open for about 3 weeks, but you know, if the block captains can't get going soon enough, we can keep it open longer, but we want everyone to be on the same page at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I just have another
Yeah.
question. So I know you mentioned community organizations. You've chosen some that will be able to almost work as a community connector or a block captain. Who have you guys who are you working with in the community?
Yeah, the Triangle Vision Plan had identified, about, I think, 8 or 9 groups, and we reached out to all of them back in January, to see if they were interested in being community partner organizations. Out of that list, 4 of them have expressed interest. So, GS Coalition, Global First, UCAN, and Focus Points.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep.
But you'll send out something once
Yes.
that's confirmed?
Yes.
Okay.
They've expressed interest, they haven't signed anything yet, so once they do.
And then their role would be then to host a lot of these.
Correct, yeah, their role would be, the community block captains and, community organizations from last month's meeting, they would partake in the guidance team. And so the guidance team would meet every 6 weeks. And it's like a feedback loop of what block captains and community organizations are hearing in their neighborhood about the survey. And then we take that feedback back to the survey and planning team, and that helps anticipate what we would see in survey number 2. And would also, we would come and report on those pieces from that meeting here.
Perfect. And then you had talked about like the time of the survey. How long is that survey, minute wise? Because you mentioned.
Oh, how long, in terms
Yeah.
of how many questions and things?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember how many questions there are. Some of them are deeper, so you could just answer the main one, or if you wanted to provide more and answer more, you could.
Right.
So it's supposed to be, if you took the full survey, less than 10 minutes, that's the goal for the full survey. If you just want to do a short form of it, we could get that down to pretty quick.
Okay.
We just recognize that not everyone's gonna wanna do it, but ideally more people wanna do the full survey.
Right, okay, thank you.
The full survey is 10
Yeah,
minutes.
less than.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you guys gonna go to the schools to do the survey? Cause I remember when my daughter was at Swansea, what was it, 2017, I think? People from the National Western Center came with a survey. And since they have a meeting every Friday, I think they used to have it.
Okay.
That's where we all did that survey, but they were asking, well, we wanted to see in the National Western Center. And things like that, and that's where we did the survey.
Okay.
And it took us like 7-10 minutes to.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah, we've been doing outreach to the schools. We did outreach with them for the kickoff event. So they'd send out flyers for First Friday. I anticipate us also sending an email out to everyone about the survey launching, and then seeing if there's opportunities for us to join them at events they have going.
Yeah, we're anticipating being at some events or having a tent and being at somewhere, so that's a good idea. We could look at an option for the school too, schools. Cool. Okay, I think, is that, let's see, oh, yeah, so this is just, I guess I just do want to say one thing here. This is that schedule that's so hard to read in this room, but we have kind of completed a lot or nearly a lot of the first phase. We've got the block captain program going. We've had a few of our community org meetings, which will eventually become guidance team meetings. We've had our first public kickoff, like Elizabeth was saying, and we are getting ready to launch the survey. So the last part of what happens in April is we will be preparing for the next community workshops in May. So sometime in the first part of May, before the end of school and things get all crazy, we will try to have that next round of workshops. And whether it's one large one or multiple small ones, we will we'll find a location that's like within the community and a little bit easier to get to. And try to sort that out a little bit. So we'll be working on that. And if we meet again with our guidance team as block captains come on and our organizations come on, we'll be ready to work with you on that. And then we proceed forward after that.
Any other questions or comments? Anything in the Zoom?
No.
Awesome.
I just have one closing comment, and it's more of maybe an open-ended question of how would the CAC like the triangle planning process to interface? We're certainly happy to come monthly and give updates like this, answer questions. I think there's opportunities to go beyond that and actually bring content to go through at CAC, but understanding it's, the CAC show, so you can let us know what might be helpful, but we would certainly be willing to do whatever, to use this time that we know we have every month. Yeah.
Yeah. That question kind of prompts a question that I've been trying to get at about National Western committees. So because that question, right, let's say in a city council parallel would be like, who sets the agenda for these committees? Which would be a chair of the committee, and then there'd be voting members of the committee. So who sets the agenda for these meetings, and who are their votes ever at these committee meetings? They're either the CAC or the CBC.
Wanna take that?
Yes, I can do that. The agenda is really set by just maybe even history in terms of getting feedback. Initially, the advisory committee is wanted as information about everything that's going on in the community, and the CAC is a place where all of that can come together, even though there's other meetings going on like Triangle and others that are going on. So it's a place where everybody who attends can get that shared information. So the agenda is pretty steady, as you've noticed, Shannon, throughout the whole time. It doesn't really change. It's the same one. And then that opportunity to add in, and certainly the question and answers in each of the agenda items is there. So it's not like the hard and fast, it's just basically a template that we try to fit things into, knowing from history what people have been interested in. And as more questions come up, we try to add. For example, we've added on Brian's because there was a question that there was a lot going on, and even though there was the program of projects meeting that was going on elsewhere, it was a good place for a lot of different people. So it's a way to bring everything in. So there's no magic to the agenda. It's sort of, there is a template and then it can be added and subtracted to. In terms of voting, I will say in the 3 years I've been facilitating, the only vote we've ever had was around the selection of the representative to the board of the authority. There has never been any other vote because this is mostly an informational session, opportunity to ask question and answers. Should there be a vote on any particular issue in the bylaws of the Community Advisory Committee, there is a process, and it's a consensus process. So anything that is brought to a vote has to be agreed upon as being brought to a vote, and then of course the consensus by.
I'd like to pick up on Shannon's point. You know, we heard, obviously, we discussed things at the community access level, but we never hear from the executive board for the National Western. What the policies and decisions they're making, we don't even get a summary here. It'd be nice if at least us, we're here in the grassroots, we're here in the weeds, we're the ones servicing the community. And yet they're over there making policy decisions and we don't even, we're like at the park all the time. It'd be nice here going forward, just so we can get a summary of their monthly events. Of their monthly, or and who's in charge, who's the key person. I mean, going back to Shannon's question, or not question, comment. What committees do they have? What board members in charge of those? What's, you know, what's their mission? I'm sure each one has, I mean, one's the ag board, one's, you know, community outreach for the livestock or whatever it is. At least, you know, we as the CEC at the grassroots level, at least we have understanding what's happening up in here.
Yeah, I asked Steve to answer that question, but I would remind you that this is not just about the authority, that there's the national, obviously.
Stock show.
The stock show, there's also the campus, there's also, historically, there's been a representative from the museum, that sort of thing. So I think, to think of that this is an outcome from the authority board meeting,
No,
it's
not,
not, yeah.
It's just.
No, I understand, I just want to put that context. And I'll ask the answer.
Yeah, I would just offer that all of the board meetings, the National Western Center Authority board meetings are public meetings. So, and they're also recorded.
Correct.
There's a public comment session for all of those board meetings as well. So you're all encouraged to attend, listen in, raise your hand, ask questions, have a chance to speak at a public comment session. And all of the committee meetings, the committee of the board are also public meetings and have that similar public comment opportunity. So they're also recorded and posted on our website. So if people don't want to have to come to all those meetings, they can go and access them. So yeah, we encourage you to participate in that and show up. Also, Sandra is on the board. And Sandra, I don't know if you want to speak to what you're hearing from the community and what you contribute to the board through what you learn here and elsewhere. Same for Caroline, who's also a community board member.
Well, I, like I said in the board meeting is that we also take all the information that we hear in other meetings. It's like sharing updates from other things that are happening in the neighborhood. The CSU, which that just almost the same information that we get here. My part as the community representative, I'm always asking, I'm always commenting, I'm always trying to see for the benefit of the community, and you guys can see, like, they're public. If you can join those meetings, join them, because I don't see a lot of people joining those meetings, and it's important to have people also there. Because I'm just one voice and I can't like do everything, but I'm always asking, I'm always pushing, Mike is there, I mean, I'm always trying to do that part, and probably sometimes it's uncomfortable, but that's okay. But it's important that we have more voices there, like Armand, if you wanna know more about it, be there, Shannon, everyone that can be there, I mean, it's open, so be there.
And I would remind that when we went, and because particularly with the Caroline selection, we knew that the authority brought that selection to this committee so that there would be an avenue of sort of having someone in the community on the board more so. And so that was a very, very, as you, I think you all participated, it was in a really open process, and the CAC actually selected the recommendation, but it didn't select it, made the recommendation to the mayor's office. So, I think that, to Sandra's point, ideally what we tried to construct was a feedback loop, not only in this setting, but also through the members of the board, the community members of the board. Any other questions or comments?
I didn't mean to derail your question, Mike. Do you want to ask it again?
I think it's just
I'm sorry.
the open question of how the CAC would like to participate in the triangle planning process. And it's more, if there are thoughts, we can continue the conversation next time, but I just want to offer that certainly we'll bring updates, but there is the potential to bring activities or some of the other planning work that's gonna happen. And this could be one of the forums in which the planning can happen, but I don't wanna obviously overtake the meeting with Triangle if it's not wanted.
I know, I appreciate it. It just helps share the information, and then also for me, in my role, it helps me just do better with communication.
How are the rest of you feeling? Do you?
I have a comment. I just want to say that I'm very grateful that everyone's doing, even with the CAC. Like, we didn't see this before. I've been here for 11 years and we didn't see this much of people from the city, National Western, trying to listen to the community, like trying to really be there and listening. And not just listening for our ideas, because that's how it felt before, like they were just using our ideas, but that's it. Like, we didn't see that really, that connection, and now I see that. And it's also because the community is always there pushing and saying and speaking up. But now it's like, I see that you guys really want to work with the community, and that's like, for me, it's great to see that, because we didn't see that before, and we can see that really division between everyone. So now I know there's a lot of work to do to gain the trust, but I see the work that you guys do, and I really appreciate that, because even asking what we want to see from you guys, and I mean, that counts a lot for us, for me.
Thank you for those comments. So just by a general head nod, do people want updates, monthly updates on the triangle? Yeah, does that sound good? Okay. Anybody disagree in the Zoom room? No, we have a voting hands. Does anybody disagree? No. Okay, so kind of that consensus
Maybe,
head nod.
Catherine, if we decide to bring a little more than an update, you know, like to have some stuff that we want to go through with you, we could get the word out early. And that way, if you wanted to attend in person to be more involved in that, that would make sense. So we'll just kind of.
I would just pile into that, and the CAC during the master planning effort was very hands-on. We rolled up our sleeves. We did the same exercises that you did at your public workshop. So that there's just more input as opposed to just kind of one-way update.
Yeah, so we'll look for those things we can bring that way. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Eduardo, an update from CSU? Still there?
Yes. I'm
Yeah,
here.
there. Okay.
Oh my God, I lost my PowerPoint. Well, I also lost my voice. I went to the powwow this weekend, so I've been talking a lot. But I shared out some information to Lori. I think she has a PowerPoint for it or a link for it, but if you're interested on summer camps for your kiddos at Spur, I know some people were having questions about the scholarship for 80216. And the way that CSU does this is it's super simple, but also makes it confusing. When you sign up for summer camps with your kiddos to come to Spur, all you have to do for that scholarship is just put in your address when you're checking out. The issue is that it doesn't tell you. So if your address is within the 80216, it automatically clicks it. And if you have questions about how to sign up to summer camps, I'm happy to answer them in the future or now. Or if I don't know, because I'm not the summer camp professional, I'm also happy to connect it with my education team. But yeah. Another thing, I've been sending out some emails regarding a pizza class that was sponsored by La Prino. If you're interested in learning how to make pizzas and you want to bring, a group of 30 people to come to Spur, make some pizzas, it's all for free. Please let me know. Please email me, please text me via my phone number. I'm sure Lori has my phone number, my email, my address, so she can share it out with you. And I apologize. but I'm not there.
Nico's definitely interested.
Yeah.
I would love to, yeah, I mean, but they kind of go with the idea is to have local or people from the community to come together and just make some food, learn some ways of making different types of pizza and just hang out and have fun. And, or make it their own thing. So we're super open to changing whatever you want, making it whatever you want. We just have the opportunity to make pizzas. This is sponsored by Laprino.
And
You all,
Thank you.
I'm sure you all know this, but I was really fascinated to know that Leprino is the world's largest mozzarella cheese distributor.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
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 They said like, if you have, like, that most pizza places in the country get their cheese from there, like, they have all grades, like super high end.
If you go anywhere, they probably sponsored it. They are crazy big. Not to be cheesy.
If you ever get a chance to go see the manufacturing place at Sun 38. It's really neat to walk through.
On the summer camps, did you say when those open up or when they typically fill up? Because I know summer camps are very challenging. So you usually you gotta set that calendar and your alarm clock for summer
Yes.
camps. So have you communicated that out, Eduardo?
So I
Yes,
have the
so-
form. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead, Lori.
Eduardo sent it to me, so I will be sharing it with, my presentation, just of what is available, but I know that he spoke with Catherine and she just said do it sooner than later, but they do still have slots
Okay.
available.
I just think that's an amazing opportunity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It really is.
Very hard for parents to find.
And I'll also add, it's I should have been more proactive and kind of announce it way in advance. And in the future or for next year, I think the good plan would be to open it first for the neighborhood, kind of like an early entry. Just because, as you mentioned, summer camps are insanity. So
Yeah.
Well, and the
Make it
cost
better
is so
next year.
crazy.
And that's something that I mentioned at the last board. I asked how they were giving this information to the community, because my daughter was part of that camp 2 years ago. And she got a scholarship, but she was the only one from the neighborhood. And I really want to see more students, like if they can go to Bruce Randolph, to Swansea, to all the schools. And to all the families also, because there's also families that do homeschool, like me, I do homeschool now. To do that outreach, because like just giving out one scholarship a whole year, we need to do better on giving those scholarships. The same thing with Eduardo, are you guys still doing the scholarships para lo de for seniors? ¿Cómo se llama? The other scholarship that you guys were given to go to school, to college or
Yeah,
something?
like the career start.
The career start?
yeah, it's not for seniors. It's if you're if you're going to college for CSU. If your address is 80216, it still applies the same way though. So it's just there's no marketing for it, which is a big flaw within that system. But it's also the worry that people that are not from here might try to abuse it. So yeah, we're working on those errors. The other thing that I'll point out too, we've marketed through the schools, the summer camps, but I know that may not be enough. Because I know my education team is in charge of the connections with their schools, and I know they send it out to the schools. But I think a lot of people that may not be involved in that are probably involved in this type of meetings and they'll benefit from sharing it out more.
So are you, sorry if I missed it, but the
That's
summer
fine.
camp is full? Is that what you're saying? The summer camp is full?
No, there's still slots. There should be some slots still.
And then to what Sam was just saying, how many scholarships are available for students in 80216?
I think I've never been mentioned that there's a limit.
Okay,
So, yeah, I think.
and how
I
many
think many
slots are
people
left
can-
available?
Huh?
How many slots are left available?
I'm not fully sure, but I'll get that to you.
Okay, what about the library? There's like families at the library all the time and kids.
Hosting it at the library, you mean?
or working with them to work with the families that they work with.
Yeah.
Or crecer or la piñata, how young can the kids be or how old do they have to be? What's the age range?
They have
Sorry,
different programs for different age range, because they have, I think they have from 8 to 18.
Okay.
For different programs.
Different weeks,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah, because that's how I got my daughter.
I tried to get into camp and I couldn't one year.
It seems like a lot of programs where from.
yeah, so the ages are 5 to 18. There's multiple camps. The camps are also not through solely CSUs, it's other partners as well. But yeah, we have the spring break camps, we have summer camps, and the summer camps are ages 5 to 13. And I posted a link on this chat for the people online, and then we can send it on email too with a link to apply on the website too that has a lot more of that information.
What about transportation? I'm sorry, there's a lot of kids and
No,
like
for sure.
And they could use this, but it feels like there's a barrier, and I'm hearing that from you too, Sandra, you know, like.
Yeah,
So what about transportation for the kids and their families to get over to the camps?
I think that's a great point. I know that we have transportation support for field trips, but see, like I don't think we have that type of support for the summer camps during the summer. But I'll also note that.
Okay, maybe I'll have more questions and follow up, Eduardo, and I would love to
Oh,
help
please, because
talk
like
to the library people about it.
I think a big mistake that I've done is that I fully connected with my education team to share out all the work they do. And I think that's something that I need to start doing now, because I mean the childcare is insane, and it's a big request. So the more I can kind of clear out those barriers, the better. So yeah, please hit me up, ask me all the questions.
Love the
I would love to
idea.
get that going.
Yeah, Eduardo, the idea of opening it up to the community, I know like the spring summer camp opened it up to members early. Or, but you opened it up to the community and then really maybe did a workshop explaining how you do the scholarship, so it seems, so that there isn't that barrier.
Yeah.
of Understanding it would be really
Yeah,
cool,
great.
I think meet some of the mission stuff, but.
Yeah.
And you have to apply for this, there's like a link, or not maybe not, but there is an application for the scholarship?
Well, it's the same application for everyone, but they will ask you your zip code, and then it has a box where you'll click to state if you are a resident in the GS. Because one of the questions that I got a month and a half ago that Eduardo and I talked about is it was prompting them to check out and pay for it. So that was a problem for us, because if you're a GS resident, not everybody is gonna have the $500, maybe 100, I don't know what the total cost is. But it was prompting them to make that payment, and so.
And then you like get reimbursed or something?
Well, it shouldn't be that. Now that Eduardo talked to Catherine, it should have just auto-populated when they click the 80216. Is that correct, Eduardo?
Correct. So
Yeah,
if
so that's
that's
what.
not happening, that's something that we need to fix. So it's a lot of this small things that create a massive problem.
Yeah, and so now we have the contact. So if somebody is trying to fill it out, Catherine has shared her information, so then we can troubleshoot that way. But what I found, or from some of the residents, is it was making them do that payment, and that was throwing us off because they're just trying to apply for the scholarship. So, so I think there's some things that.
Great idea, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
I
and-
applied for my daughter, when I applied for my daughter, it didn't ask to pay anything at that time. So I did, like, I put that we were from GS, and I talked to Sarah, who was before, I think, Eduardo. And I told her that I want my daughter to be part of the camp. But like I said, it was just her. And I don't know how many students or kids from GS have participated this past 2 years. But it will be good to, if you have that scholarships, to let community know about these scholarships. Because CSU has a lot of programs that we can use. They have the therapy with the horses that a lot of people doesn't even know. where like you can call them and say, we want to take my kids, and it can be, it's for kids, for adults, for everyone. They had the, ¿cómo se llama? Veterinario en inglés.
Veterinarian.
Yeah.
Give me in Colorado.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of programs that the community is not really using because they don't know about it. The access and everything, so it would be good to have more community participating in those programs.
Eduardo, maybe next year, in anticipation of the interest, is that in January, February, doing a briefing here at the CAC so that we can spread it out, and then it goes up on the website as well.
Yeah, I think
I
that'd be
mean,
perfect.
this along. Eduardo, did you have something else that you wanted to do?
No, I mean, I appreciate all this input. At the end of the day, the end goal is once CSU gets its own summer camp license and all that all this will be polished out. So we can have a good rollout and it is actually accessible to people here. So it's steps. So I appreciate all this inputs.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
If
perfect.
there's still spots, at the second Saturday in April, you might want to consider having a table to help people figure it out or whatever on that day, if there's still spots available for summer camp for this year. Workshop.
Yeah.
Just thought, unsolicited.
All right.
No, I appreciate that. I think the pickle with second Saturdays too, that is less just the GES. But, yeah.
Thank you, Eduardo.
Of course. Yeah,
we can
sorry
move
for
on
taking so
to-
much time.
Okay. Lori?
All right. So I did put some information in the chat. What we're trying to work on as a campus is really trying to collect as much information that could apply to residents in the community. Resources, information about the camps, movie night. So we're really trying to collect that. So in that link that I sent, if you have any information or any flyers that you would like to add, you click on that. It's like every month, just add it, so then I can share it in one document. Obviously, I'm not gonna gather everything, but I am gonna get enough information that we can share out. I printed in the back, just one copy, if you guys wanna take a picture with your phone, the resources that we've collected for March. But in that resources, in that Adobe file, you can click on that, and it should give you all of the different programs. Birdseed has provided any information if you wanna do energy assistance. We have some Goodwill training classes, cross purpose that really focuses on the GES. All of these resources we're really just trying to collect. I will send that out, but it's been kind of working pretty well for the last 2 months where I'm able to collect it, put it in one document. We send it out in our monthly newsletter, and then we also send it out in our text platform. So if you have not signed up for the text platform, please do, or send me an email, send me a text. I will get you guys signed up. So it's just really important for us to be able to share that. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to is our market at the center. We are seasonal. CSU Spur is year round, second Saturdays. We are more seasonal, so we're outside. We're on the main plaza. Our goal is to really activate that space to have free activations for our community members, seniors, like all ages. The 3 buildings that are on the CSU campus are really, there's so much education around it, but it is very youth focused. We really want to try to make sure that we're activating music, entertainment, and these are local vendors, community resources. This year for May, I'm already excited about all the activations just because I love this stuff. But we're having a petting zoo this year, a terrarium workshop, the pollinator education, and they're going to be painting their own bee bass. The flower bar, just because we're really trying to celebrate those caregivers, the mothers, fathers, everybody that just plays a role in raising a human. It's a hard thing to do. So we've got 2 spaces. Last year we were on the riverfront, which was a great space. We had Latin All Stars at the amphitheater, and then we had some tabling. This year we're still activating this, where there are going to be a community zone and live music, but then our main focus for activation is really campus overview. So we've got the Legacy that has joined us this year. They're open, they're activated during second Saturday. They have the saloon open. They have their museum available. So we're really looking forward to just having that campus collaborative care. But just a lot of great things. We're still trying to provide a lot of education, but these are free activations. We will have a part where people can purchase items, but we don't want that to be the full, like, concept of what the market at the center is. So that's where we've got the community zone, we've got live activations, we've got a whole bunch of like free activities. But then also we give a platform for local entrepreneurs to be able to sell items. We've got some food trucks that are local that we can give business to. So just really excited for this year, for us to have all the campus collaboration and everybody to be part of it. So much fun. I already went over the GES resources. I will send that link out again. If you have anybody that you know that you work with that does have resources in the community and they can offer it, or even just to spread the word, share it with this platform, because my goal is to really just get that out to individuals and to people. And then I wanted to do a plug for CIF. They have their grant applications that are due by April 6th. They do have a workshop on March 24th. It was yesterday.
That's, but thank you, Lori. No, Lori, thank you for sending the text out, because we got people there, so thank you.
Oh, good. Well, and another thing is that if you ever find a need for getting news out to the community, please feel free to use like our networks. I'm really just we're all about extending and expanding services, not really to recreate the wheel. So we really want to just create like this big network of our community and share that out. So always I'll be your biggest cheerleader for that. And then the next slide, we've got Market at the Center. This is the vendor interest form. So right now we've got about 22 local vendors that have signed up. We're gonna try to see where they fit in those 5 months that we're gonna be tabling, at the Market at the Center. But if you know of anybody that really has a business that they're selling food or, homemade items, please share this flyer with them, because we are always welcoming new vendors and community interest. And then the next
Lori,
one.
when are those?
No, and I will send it all out, like to everybody that is here. I'll send out a follow-up. But that one is really, they give you the themes. I know they're so tiny. And then if you look behind you, they have the full copies that you guys can take. Keep that form. It is for the whole season. It has all 3 QR codes to do the run of the show. So if you keep that flyer up, it'll give you the run of the show at the Legacy. It'll give you the run of the show for CSU Spur. It'll give you the run of the show for Market at the Center. Our goal is to be a campus connection and to really have that as a platform for people to know, hey, what is May? Because maybe they just want to stop by. They can find out, like, I think we'll post it like a week before. They'll know if there's a dancer at 12 o'clock. They'll know, like, when is the bee painting for the kiddos. So the flyers are back there. And then I'll also, we're working with Birdseed on trying to see if we can get some community members to flyer. We're going to work with community members as well, just to make sure that we get those flyers out. We just got approval, so now we've got to send it to the print shop. But yeah, we're just trying to this campus is for residents and community and everybody to come together. And we don't want there to be any financial hardship for them to come and enjoy their campus. So yes, just follow that run of the show. I'm so excited about it. I love community. So the next one is just what we talked about. That's going to be the flyers that will go out, and it's got those 3 QR codes to really spotlight all of the participants and everybody that is going to be activated.
Any questions or comments for Lori?
And then just another thing, at the beginning of the chat, if you did not sign in or for a meeting in 2026, please fill that out. That's kind of my tracking to make sure that I get all of the resources out to everybody and their emails, and just to make sure I do follow-up questions. Yay.
And we also have stipends, so it's really important that you sign in so that we can be sure to distribute stipends.
Yep, and the stipends do get sent out on the Friday of after every meeting. So please join. And then, yeah, if you haven't signed up for the text platform, please do that. That's how we get the resources out for the free community tickets, and we communicate anything that's going on campus.
All right. Any Anything else, Lori?
No, and then the next part, I just wanted to talk about like community updates. This is, I don't think we've had a lot of people participate in the update component where it says community. This is your platform to talk about what's happening. We've got a lot of things happening over at Focus Points. We've got, Birdseed, we've got everything here, CIF, just making sure that they have, people applying for their grants. Just wanted to share, that community update is really for you all that are participating to share those resources and really just kind of make a comment. All positive comments, but yes.
Anybody would like to make an announcement, a community update?
I
Oh,
can
can I
if
do-
it's okay. Oh, go ahead.
Yes. Let's just let Myra do it, and then Shannon, and then Lori, you.
Yep.
Go ahead,
All
Myra.
right, thank you all. So for focus points, the biggest thing is we are still recruiting youth from 80216 for our youth advisory committee. We have a couple of students already and would love to have more. We have a total of 6 kiddos from in high school, from 80216 and 80205. And we meet twice a month. And I can send flyers after the meeting today. And then on Monday, we have the committee meeting earlier from 3 to 4. And then from 4 to 4:30, we have a community partner called Camping to Connect. And they take high school, or no, they work with young men, I think from middle school, if I remember correctly, to up until 26. And they take them hiking, and also will do 3-day, 2-night camping as well. And their goal is just to create a safe space with young men of color, to help them talk about mental health, self-care, and things like that. That's their goal. And the organization is called Camping to Connect. So they're going to be presenting from 4 to 4:30 on Monday, and everyone in our community is welcome. So if you have boys or children that identify as males, please come hear about the program. And then if they're in high school, we'd love for them to join our youth advisory committee. The commitment is just twice a month. They get a $10 gift card for every meeting they join. And then they're helping us build our summer program that will launch. And that's still in the works with the current committee. So we're co-creating and collaborating with the youth with what our summer program is going to be. And it'll all be free for families to register and attend. And then other than that, we, once a month on the 4th Thursday of every month, we get together with our older adults. And next month it'll be with Athena Project. And they're going to do an art-based activity and with a pot and painting. And that's free. And it'll be in the afternoon from 1 to 3:30, if I remember correctly. And again, we offer support services, walk-in days on Wednesdays and Fridays, Wednesdays from 9 to 4, Wednesdays from 9 to 1. And then Huerta will be up and running in June again. So we're starting to plant things, or start our seedlings to be planted. So yeah.
Thank you, Myra. Shannon?
Thanks. That Camping to Connect thing sounds cool, Myra, and the website looks cool. You all should check it out. Shannon with the Community Investment Fund, our grant application is open. It's due April 6th. We're now through our office hours and workshops, but we have 2 fellows that are working with us. So if you know folks that need support with their applications, they can meet with Dana and Ale. They're both bilingual. We had like 10 people come to the workshop the other day, people with the new ideas, and that was all led by Dana and Ale, which was really great. We had 20 people apply to be grant reviewers, which is the most we've ever had, which is amazing. And we are starting that selection process.
just so y'all know, we have a governing board, which Angela is a part of. And then separate is our grant review committee, and our governing board selects the grant review committee. And our grants should be selected and awarded by June, if folks want to know about the calendar process. So it's rolling, and please encourage people to apply.
How many applications have you gotten so far?
We don't have that many applications in, but that's not unusual for us at this point. But we expect, we've had a lot of interest of people who are working on them.
Hey, Lori. Thank you, Shannon.
I just wanted to also share all these great things happening. Focus points and our farm box is up and going. And at the Market at the Center, one of the new things for this year is we will be giving out free produce that will be produced from the farm box. That is a great just a great service that we can offer. And so we've been working with Karen and Brendan on making sure that that happens. We know that there's a food necessity and, being able to bring farm box products to GS. It's exciting. So thank you to Focus Points for that.
Lori, how are you gonna be giving that produce or to who? Cause sometimes like those produce always go to an organization and nobody else knows about it. And we always see that, like, I know like 3 years ago, from the farmer thing they had at CSU, they were giving it to the grow house, which the grow house doesn't serve only GES, it serves a bunch of other families. And like, how can you guys do something that really is gonna benefit everyone in the community? I know you have to produce a lot to be able to benefit the whole community, but at least be more open and not just give it to one organization that probably most of people are not gonna go there to get that produce.
Yeah, that's a great point. I know currently, just because it is the first year, our focus is to really make sure that it's at Huerta's Farmers Market every Friday, because produce will be given out to GS families. And then the Market at the Center, our hope is people that are coming to attend and us getting that word out is really to our GS families. Once it starts to produce more, I think that's where we're gonna really have to figure out, like, how can we get to those community partners and get to the community directly rather than just tabling up and whoever gets it first. So we really are trying to think about that plan, but our goal is the farmers market that is really focused on the GES at Focus Points. And then obviously a Market at the Center, we're really trying to do that straight kind of marketing just for GES. I mean, we know that there's going to be other people that are participating, but our goal is to really focus on that GES community.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Anybody want to comment on anything else, sort of about any meetings, future meetings, any topic at all?
Maybe all be as excited as Lori about their job.
I love my job. I do. I love community. You guys know this. It's in my blood.
Then you're doing the right job.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for being here tonight. See you next month. Be safe until then.
Yeah, and help yourself to leftovers, please.
Yes, I'm taking